watching a different show. It's donkey. You ain't a captain of nothing but a sinking ship. Don't do this to me, Harry. The Ohio State. It's Ohio State. What do you mean, the? 312-988-15.
Hello?
You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. Sometimes it's good to just yell about football. Yeah. Ooh, not a great start in the chat. Not a great start in the chat. Let's be honest. Let's just... We got a lot of injury concerns. We got quarterback concerns. I just read through this chat, man. Ooh. There's some Irish angst. And who said I was late, man? I wasn't late. You know I wasn't late. I was right on time, baby. Always on time. There's a little bumbling, grumbling. There's a little like frustration, anxiety building now in camp. We're there. Like we're just there with some of the quarterback stuff and now the injury stuff. And now we're already doing is it Landau? Is it the Under Armour cleats? Is it this? It's just, I understand it. We're at that part of the summer, man. We're at that part of the summer. And I understand it. And it's just, and we got to work through what part of this is real. Yeah, our pets' heads keep falling off. We need to, here's where I'm struggling. Let's start it off right now where I'm struggling. Okay. I'm trying to determine the appropriate level of concern with this stuff versus we're all wrapped up in Notre Dame land, all concerned about it's just so intense the way we wanted to get this all going that when things aren't going exactly how you would want them, it feels worse than it is. And that's where I'm at with the quarterback thing too. Is it time to really panic? Or do you still have time for a guy to emerge and take this job and ease into Miami and whatever? Or are you in like, man, I keep getting these reports and they're not great. Like, I don't know where that leaves us. And I have a lot of anxiety. I don't know. I'm struggling to find the exact reality because I think everything's being intensified just because of where this is all at. Everybody wants football so bad and you want Notre Dame to be so good that any little negative thing is amplified. That's where I'm at, you guys. I'm trying to find my footing and I just don't know where it is. It's a crisis. Well, that's not helping my blood pressure. Like I'm trying to figure out that level so that you don't overreact, but you also can't underreact and act like some things that are worrisome, just no big deal at all. Oh, both the quarterbacks, neither one of them's emerging and looking great, and everybody's reporting that. Nothing to see here. Like, so I'm trying to figure out where the right spot to be is. And I'm struggling with that. And so you got the injury stuff that's leaking in here. Man, every day this quarterback thing goes, another day. I mean, I get a bunch of messages and emails like, oh, dude, the people I'm talking to, it isn't great. It's not great. It's not looking great. It's not looking great. And everybody that knows somebody that's in the building that messaged me, oh, it's not looking great. And I'm not ND fans overreacting. That would never happen. Like, yeah, but it's natural. That's why I'm saying I'm trying to find the level. And I do not want to over dramatize this, even though that's how I got this whole channel started, over dramatizing everything that happens in Notre Dame land. You also have to be wide-eyed and open to what's actually going on too. You're not going to be able to just cope and hope your way through this. You're not going to be able to just cope and hope your way through this. You're not. So that's where I'm starting at here. So let's work through this together and try and figure out where some realities of this are. Maybe if there's some overreactions, I don't know. Some people are underreacting. Some people are underreacting. But so that's where I'm at. I don't want to be like full panic mode isn't appropriate for any of this, but it's like it's fair to have some concerns about where some of this is. It just that's perfectly fair. Oh man. Maddie B, good to see you. Your Notre Dame club of Orange Brother is here. It's good to have you, man. It's good to have you. And I owe you a message and an email. Still working out a couple details, brother. Still working out a couple details. It's just good to have. I always say it's good to have our Notre Dame people out on the West Coast present. That's, you guys got to understand when you're talking about this, it's the furthest place in the United States from kind of where I'm at in the Chicago area would be California. I find peace of mind knowing we got a good following of Notre Dame people out there that are loyal, representing us in USC territory. It's just like a personal thing to me because that's physically like as far as you could kind of get from me. And I have peace of mind. I have the peace of mind knowing that we got a good contingent out there. It makes me happy. So let's get into this. We got some super chats. We got some regular chats. We got to see where this level's at. We got to see where this level's at. Man, it makes me, it's getting me wound up. As always, you can find the program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps Johnny out as well. Notifications on that way you don't miss nothing. Twitter, search bar, always Irish, rat, always Irish. Emails, always irishmd@gmail.com. Audio only, anywhere you want it. You can get it if you don't want to see my face every day. Who is going to blame you for that? If you don't want to see my face, go to the audio only call-in lines. Anywhere you want to go. It's totally up to you. You want to talk about quarterbacks? You want to talk about the injuries? You want to just talk about how you feel like things are going overall? It's just weird riding this emotional wave. You ride the wave like the Orange County Notre Dame Alumni Club, baby, in LA. You ride the wave, and so we're riding it, and it just feels a little uncertain right now. And I don't know if that's reality or if that's practically accurate, but we're all wrapped up in Notre Dame world. It's hard. We're all wrapped up in Notre Dame world. It's hard to see anything outside of that vortex. Notre Dame on SI. Read all about it. Patreon.com/always Irish. The former captain, myself, Jared Clark, ND Recruiting 01. Type ND25 in as a promo code. Get yourself half off. Join us. You can't wait for that all 22. Geez, those guys break it down all through the night. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. End time watchman. I'm concerned with the QB battle due to lack of information. I'm less concerned about lack of information and more concerned about the information I do hear. Does that make any sense to anybody? It's I'm not lacking information. It's that I don't love all the information that I'm being told. That's a different thing. That's a different thing. So, man, you don't want to overreact, but you just want to feel a little better about where it's all at, man. It's just, LOL, John, it'll be fine. How do you know? How do you know? Hope? Like, I get it. I understand. Nobody's lost a game here. Notre Dame still is undefeated. I get it. That's why I say I'm struggling to find a responsible footing. Struggling to find the right footing on this to get it all going. So I don't know. Chief says, CJ not being head and shoulders above Kenny isn't the concern people are making it out to be. Yeah, there's just a lot of calculations going on. There's a lot of calculations going on. As far as where this is all at, where each of these guys are at compared to the other? What was the bar of comparison to begin with? Like, where was it? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So it's fair to wonder and it's fair to worry. As we get things started here, number one is happy anniversary to my parents. They're in Florida, 45 years together, still actually like each other. It's a modern miracle. It's a modern miracle. But 45th anniversary today for Always Irish Senior and Jill. So congratulations to that, and really appreciate having good parents. And I'm very, very lucky in that way. So they're in Florida at the condo hanging out. Good for them. Happy 45th. So I'm lucky. I had good family, good parents growing up. And the older I get, the more I realize what an advantage that is, just to have that. So I wanted to get that out. Happy anniversary to them. And then here's the other thing, too. Here's the other thing. Let's not forget, don't we have Elijah Golden committing tomorrow? Am I dreaming? That's still August 9th, and Notre Dame people feel good about it, right? Rudy, good to see you. Always good to have a Rudiger here. Good to see you, Rudy. So you still got that. And I think the last I saw, Notre Dame people feel pretty good about it. They feel pretty good about it. So you got that tomorrow. And then also we're going to go live for a Saturday Night Live. So we're going to try and do this. I know there's 1 week. I think it's the week before the season. It's my daughter's birthday on a Saturday. We're probably not going to do that one, but I'm going to try and do these running up into the season. So tomorrow you could have a lot going on. You'll get more practice reports. We'll be able to see Elijah Golden's decision, and then plan for 8 o'clock Central. Plan for 8 o'clock Central. And we'll do a call-in show. We'll have a little fun. Everybody can have a beer or two and relax a little bit. And we'll go from there. Andrew Gilmore. Yeah, listen, man, it is choose your own adventure here, man. It really is. Like, nobody has the full information. It's totally up to you to decide where this is all at. Oh, it's still where everything's sorting itself out. Relax. Or if you want to panic until Miami, like, everything's available to you on the menu. You got to do what you got to do. I'm not telling anybody how to think or feel or process any of the information you're getting. That's totally up to you. It's fine. So it's just, I personally am struggling to find the exact realities of the dynamic. And that's just kind of where I'm at. I don't think that's fair, Jay Carr. If Carr isn't ready, unrelated, by the way, these cars. If Jay Carr's not related to CJ, as far as I know. If Carr isn't ready, it's on the coaches. 4-string scout team QB last year with no development, split snaps equally in spring, no development. It's man, there's a lot. I'm too late to the party. Is it true Bowman is out for the year and so is Kedron Young? That's what I've been hearing. That's what I've been hearing. I don't know what to tell you. It just sucks. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. That's what I'm hearing. It's not good. If it isn't season ending for both, it's just not good. It's just not good. That's a good question, Commander. It's a good question. And again, something you don't know. If you're Freeman, how do you handle all this, John? I don't know exactly where they're at. I don't know if the staff's panicking behind closed doors, thinking, okay, the walls are closing in on Miami and nobody's emerged. What do we do now? Or if it's, we still got time. These guys are trying to work through it, and somebody will level it out next week and rise. That's the other thing. I don't know what the reality is with the coaching staff. And you're not going to get that in a media thing or anything. I'm just wondering in my own mind, I wonder what those guys think, right? Like behind closed doors. Or I wonder if they're thinking they're going to change something up or try and do something different to jumpstart these guys. I don't know. I'm starting to think neither is the answer, but unfortunately, one of them has to win the job. So, like, I'm not in the position to tell anybody any of these thoughts are right or wrong. I'm not in the position. No one is in the position to know for sure what the reality is. So I don't know. All right, let's do some chats. And then I'll get into some of what I wanted to talk about. If you want to call 312-900-8815, anybody got any good news or anything to call in and calm down the chat? Because it's pretty rough in here, man. It's pretty rough in here. I don't think the Buckner thing, I don't think that's reality unless everybody gets hurt. Don't you guys agree? Like, I don't think that's the thing unless you absolutely have a disaster with injuries and ineffectiveness. Right? Like, but then you start seeing that, man. Things need to level out. Something needs to happen here. Something needs to happen here. Sly Fox. Good morning, always Irish Nation and Trolls. 23 more days to the Miami beatdown. Let's get there. C. Jones. The goal of the QB in week 1, be efficient and minimize mistakes. I trust Mike Denbrock to execute this plan. Yeah, that's a really good goal for the first game. You don't want to overwhelm whoever the quarterback is, but you still got to be effective. I think minimizing the big mistakes would be a good way to get into this. Tim, I see you, 859. You're going to come up. We're going to see where you're at on all this. Loyal Notre Damer, if there ever was one. The Dong, is Kedron actually hurt or false report? I heard he's really hurt. So I don't know if that's become official or not, but I've heard he's really hurt and Bowman's really hurt. I don't know. Saturday night still on, bro? It certainly is. Maybe everybody will have a few drinks on the Saturday night show. We'll see who feels better after that. Right? Mikey Poles, good to see you, big boy. That's my security guard at the tailgates, keeping the riffraff out. I have a bad feeling both QBs are not doing nearly as well as they need to be. It has the vibe of both QBs are kind of mid rather than both are balling out at a high level. That seems to be where a lot of the reporting is. And if you read and listen to multiple people, that's in the ballpark of kind of how it's going. Andrew Gilmore was talking. There's like a vibe of it's closer than they thought. It's closer than people thought it would be, the competition, but not because they're both rising, but it kind of felt like you were waiting for Carr to ascend and naturally take and jump up, and it didn't happen. So then it's close, but not necessarily for good reasons, but like you expected one guy to rise and they didn't, which makes it close, but at a lower effectiveness level of close. I don't want to overdo it. And I don't think we're quite in panic mode yet. But what happens if you get another week down the road? What happens if you get another week down the road? You're in the same position. Now you're in, we got to do Miami prep. What are we doing? I'm trying to be as relaxed as I can be, which is not very relaxed when it comes to Notre Dame stuff. I'm trying to be responsibly concerned here. Good morning and happy Friday to Johnny and the Always Irish, Always Committed, Always Irish Nation. Hope you had a good week. It's good to see you, Text ND. Tim, I'm coming to you. 312-900-8815 if you want to dial in. Was already a DEFCON 4 coming into the season regarding the QB situation. But no defined QB after 2 weeks camped as me, DEFCON 3, getting more concerned by the day. Man. Sid Irish. I'm guessing one more injury before the season. Who else? We always lose 3 to 4 players in camp every year. Oh, man. It's not what I wanted to start this chat off with. Andrew Gilmore. The Bowman injury is more consequential than fifth string Kedron. Bowman was potentially second string. Washington better be a decent tight end or it could be a real issue. It's just, man, you feel bad for these kids. They worked so hard to get to this point. It's just brutal, man. And I see the chats. Is it the Under Armour shoes? Is it the strength and conditioning program? Haven't they been doing a lot on the grass fields? Isn't Miami a natural grass field with that weird half-open ceiling deal? And I think they're on grass. So then you get into all the debate. Are we doing wrong with the training? Are we doing wrong with the shoes? Man, it's exhausting. And listen, here's the other part. I'm going to be completely selfish with this. Openly selfish. Oh, camp injuries happen to everybody. You just need to relax. This happens in every camp, everywhere. Everybody needs to relax with the injuries. They happen. You just got to count in a handful of them and move on, blah, 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 blah. It happens to everybody. I get a million of those messages. It happens to everybody. Yeah, but I don't care about everybody. What is that supposed to make me feel better for? Yeah, it happens in every camp. Yeah, fine. But I only care about our camp. What do you want me to say? Oh, it happens everywhere, so I'm fine. Our guys' legs are falling off. No, I only care about our guys. I'm still only going to be mad when it's our people. What do you want from me? A calm, measured response? Oh, everybody loses this many guys, so it's just fine that our guys' legs, ACL snapped in half on practice today. No, I'm only going to care about ours. And the problem is when you're like, oh, well, everybody gets hurt in camp. Yeah, and you already lost guys before you even got to camp. So then you add in the camp injuries and you're behind even more. Son of a buck. I'm trying. I am trying to be responsible with all this. Look. I got to be honest, man. I needed that. I got to tell you, I needed that. Clayton Bigsby chimes in. Ohio State fans are lazy, good for nothing tricksters. They crack smoking swindlers. I needed that. We need Clayton here for entertainment value to lighten the mood. They are good for nothing tricksters. How much time you got, buddy? Oh, that's good. All right. Almost through the chats. Then we'll get to the calls here. We got a couple good ones. And we're going to see where we go. Bad news so far. Give us something good, Johnny. In the world of ND fandom, the season's basically over. It's just, you don't have anything to go off of other than there is no game where everyone sees it all and all realities are revealed. That is the challenge with spring ball and now. You don't have this full thing of evidence where we all see the exact reality. You're reliant on the opinions of other people that see more than you, and you're hanging on that, and it goes up and down. It's a challenging time when you're a diehard fan. Commander. I've only ever called into Saturday night show not intoxicated once. You know why that's funny? It's like usually you would be like, I've only called in intoxicated once. No. Commander's saying I've only called in not intoxicated once. Oh my God. Sly. It's funny how we all say how big and beastly our boys look, but once one get hurt, it must be Landau's fault. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to end up my theory with golfers. 40 years ago, you didn't have golfers with these serious injuries because they weren't weightlifting and doing all that heavy work. They were doing more like trying to be limber, like stretching exercises. And then once guys really hit the weights to bang it 350, guys start pulling discs and having like real injuries that you didn't have in the PGA Tour 40 years ago because guys weren't lifting that much. I don't know. Oh, man. People are talking about that defense. There you go. There's some positivity, I think. I don't think they'll run as much zone as you think. I do think that idea of like Ash is just going to run all this zone stuff and let people dink and dunk on the field. I don't think it's going to be like that. You're going to get more zone, but it isn't going to be like 70% of the time. Like, I think that is overblown. I think that narrative's overblown. I don't think you're going to have it. It's not going to totally be like that. And so I think people need to relax on that part. Injuries happen to everyone. I understand that, but I only care when it's our people. Jay Grizz giving me the biz. By the way, only comments were meant to lighten the mood up a little bit, but there has to be legitimate concerns if guys are always getting lower body extremity injuries, right? Investigate the field, investigate Under Armour, investigate Landau, shut it all down, John Tapper style. This is a big question I have. John, if our starting quarterback struggles against Miami, in your opinion, how short would that leash be? See, callers, I'm coming to you. Couple super chats, we'll get to you. This is interesting to me because a part of this discussion needs to be, where does this go next? How does this develop the rest of camp? Does it... what is that leash in Miami? It's going to depend what it looks like. It's going to depend if there are mistakes. What are they? If a guy throws 3 pick sixes or whatever, and it looks like the last time we played Notre Dame in Miami, you might have to do something. But like, it's going to depend what that looks. You're going to be able to see if a guy is completely overwhelmed and it's too big for the moment and you just can't handle it. You're going to see that, man. You're going to see that. And the other thing is, what happens if no one separates clearly here and ascends to the number 1 role and makes the decision for Freeman and Denbrock and Gino? That's the answer we all want, right? Reports to come in. One of these guys is outplaying the other, rides into the top. They're on fire. Guys are there. That's the leader now. Everybody's bought in behind that guy rallying, and he's ascending. That's the answer you want, because there's no decision to be made there from the stat. It's just, this is our guy, and it's obvious. Everybody would have comfort with that. If you get to Miami and you don't have that, does that make it more likely or less likely you see both those guys out there at some point, regardless of how it's going? Like, that's the extension of this. If nobody clearly separates and the staff has to make a decision, but it's real close, is that a scenario that lends to getting more series with both those guys out there? Or is that, you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none, you're going to mess everything up, cause a bunch of drama? Who's the quarterback? Every series we're going to be debating, it's this guy, it's that guy. I don't know how far-fetched that scenario is or not, but it crossed my mind. If nobody clearly ascends, do both those guys get time until somebody ascends in the season? I don't know the answer to that. I don't know whether that is the right thing to do. Would be, if you're in that position, is that the right thing to do? Or is it wildly irresponsible because you're starting a bunch of drama in a quarterback competition? Every drive, Notre Dame has the ball. And every throw, Twitter's going to be like, that's the guy, that's not the guy. And we do that every... It's just a lot, man. 20 callers, I'm coming to you. $20 holler from my man Eric, my lawyer in Michigan. I'm much more concerned about Ash and the Ash defense than I am CJ and Denbrock. I'm afraid teams will move the ball regularly against the zone. I don't think you're getting as much zone as you're thinking you're going to get. I don't think you're going to get as much zone as your people are making it that you're going to get. I don't. That is something that I just don't think you're going to get. Andrew, I think the coaches fully expected Carr to outplay Minchie, and instead he's been below average. Minchie isn't lighting it up either. Yeah, that's a head-to-head competition, but at a mid-level. It's rough, man. It's rough. Pick your narrative. $20 holler from my lawyer again. Eli Reardon's going to have a monster season this year, especially against Miami and A&M. Yeah, and now it's even more critical that he stays healthy all year. Now it's even more critical he stays healthy all year. But when you look at that monster and that body and that frame and that muscle he put on, man, what a great outlet on a third down or a red zone situation. What a great target, man. Like, he looks like a cyborg monster. He looks like what I dream about. I want to look when I wake up one day from working out a little bit and eating some chicken. You know what I mean? Unbelievable. Look at the muscle on that guy. Josh Blair, $5 holler. Get Johnny in a QB and he'll have a 16-0. Man, I don't know about that. I appreciate your confidence in me. I really do. I appreciate it. Commander Mate, this is really, really good by you, Commander. This is actually one of the more insightful things you put in the chat in 5 years. That's a key question. How do you handle this if you get a little further down the road and nobody's separating? I think that is a absolutely fantastic question. I really do. So Commander, I'm going to give you credit. I think that is a really, really good question, and I don't have the answer. And I would like to know what the coaches are talking about behind the scenes. When they get off the practice field and then they go and meet to talk about their groups or whatever, I would love to be a fly on the wall and hear what they're really saying about all this. I don't know, man. It is you your window of time for ideal plan is starting to dwindle out of the Wicked Witches. What is it? The time thing with the sand going through it. It's starting to run out. What do you got? One more week? One more week? And then D-Hawk says, I think we have to go with the guy that could use his legs the best. I'm glad you brought that up, D-Hawk. You guys are bringing up good things to think about. If you end up in a situation where both guys are pretty even and they're struggling and the reports are not glowing about the decision-making or whatever, do you default to the guy that can make things happen with their legs more and then figure it out that way? Or is that like shortchanging everything? I don't know. $5 holler from Josh Blair. Seems like a new name. Good to have you here. I hate these preseason reports. They show the best highlights, but never the full picture of progress for the QBs. Miami will dictate the vibe all year. Absolutely, Miami will dictate the vibe all year. And even though there's a week in between, if you lose Miami, the edge is going to be knocked off that A&M home game. I'm telling you, it just is. It's still going to be a good environment, but there's going to be this pall of anxiety hanging over everything as people come in there, like with the prospect of 0-2. Like, it would just be a nightmare, man. It's going to ruin it. Losing to Miami would ruin that vibe you're hoping to get for A&M. It's going to be mid-late September, perfect weather. It would all be beautiful. But man, people are going to be nervous if you drop that first one because you can't go 0-2. You just can't do it. You can't do it. And again, Joshua, I'm with you on getting these reports. That's the difference between callers. I'm coming to you. That's the difference between in the season and spring ball and now. In the season, nobody can spin anything. You see it on your TV, all of it. There's nothing hidden and there's no angle being played. You're seeing all the data. And then you know what's good enough, bad enough, in the middle or whatever, and you see it all. That's really hard right now. You ain't out there. Even the media that's in there, they get 15 minutes or whatever of something that they don't care if they see, and that's it. You don't know what you're getting. You don't know what you're getting. So I don't know, man. It's just, and again, before we get to the calls, let's say this, remind this. Whatever they're going to do at quarterback for Miami, the best thing you could do to help all this out is have a really good defense and a really good run game. That is, if you are, that is the top thing you could do. Top thing you could do is have a really good defense, keeps the score down so that you don't feel like the quarterback's got to score 40 points or whatever to be Miami. Keep the score down. And then if that offensive line can protect and move the ball and you can rely on Love and do all that, man, that may have to be the recipe early before you figure out what you got. Because I don't know if you feel like I don't feel like anybody knows exactly where we're at. All right. If you're on hold, you're going to be on the air. Let's start with Tim, 859 on the line. What's up, Tim?
How you doing? Well, when these injuries break, I take it they tore knees?
Yeah, it's lower body on both. I know one's an ACL, and then the other one they're waiting to announce.
What is the season? Remember when Notre Dame was looking to change their apparel? There was always rumors that who they signed with, their shoes were iffy and caused injuries. So
yeah, I remember.
You don't like starting camp out that way.
Tim, I remember that data coming up on, I think it was Irish Sports Daily brought up some scientific study that studied all these different cleats, and they showed that Under Armour teams had more lower body injuries than other teams that wear Nike or whatever else. So I don't know. I don't know what to make of it or not. Or is it just bad luck? Or is it every camp you're going to lose people? Don't give it a thought. I don't know, man. But it's just sucks for the guys.
We seem to have a lot, especially Bowman. I really feel for him. And Andrew made a good point. The running back we can absorb, but the tight end, no, he would have seen a lot of time. We needed him. So hopefully that freshman Flanagan can develop and step up. But main point, everybody just needs to take a chill pill. We're not coming off a 4-8 season. You realize we played for a national title and we're a couple plays away from winning it. I'm going to put the trust in the coaching staff that they know what the hell they're doing. They're day in and they're day in and day out. They watch the film. They sit there and say they're not prepared. And if I also remember right on Carr, he was hurt a lot of last year. It wasn't like he had a full year in camp, if I remember correctly. Now, I could be wrong, but I thought he was hurt for a lot of last year. Right?
Yeah, it's Tim, I'm struggling, man. I don't know what the right levels are on all this. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you get what I mean? I don't know whether we're overreacting or not reacting enough to all this stuff. You're in a weird spot, man. I don't know what to think of it all.
I'm gonna let it play. I understand where you're coming from, but God help us if we lose to Miami. You know how many people are going to call in, especially somebody in Florida, wanting him fired, and said, "Oh, he didn't have prepared. He was taking in the media day." Come on, when has Marcus Freeman built up enough credibility? I think he's built up a hell of a lot. At least in my mind, he has.
Yeah, it's how it's going to go, man. If it goes bad in week 1, I mean, everybody's been so looking forward to this, and it's a big time matchup. Like, it's going to be a really rough.
God forbid we go 0-2.
Can you imagine my life? Can you imagine my life?
Well, you'll make a lot of money. That's a positive, I guess.
Can you imagine my life here if Notre Dame starts out 0-2? Can you just think about the condition of this show and this chat if Notre Dame starts 0-2? Oh, my God. I hate my life already.
I think you made it. All along, you've made some pretty intelligent statements where you said, this team could be great by the end of the year. The problem is we might not be able to get there. We somehow have to navigate, get to a point where at worst have 2 losses. I think 2 losses will get us in. I'd rather only have 1. But if we can somehow just figure out a split, or I'd like to win the first 2, and then maybe you drop the game against Arkansas. I think we can beat Boise at home. Who knows? Assuming we don't drop a stupid game.
Yeah,
I know that's what everybody's going to point to.
I think that 10-2 gets Notre Dame in this year. Obviously not the home game, but it gets you in the bottom of the bracket. I honestly think 10-2 with this schedule, probably Notre Dame's in it. And then when you're looking at how the schedule breaks down, I think if you could get to the break after USC with 1 loss or 0, you probably feel pretty darn good about where things are going. I think that's kind of the goal. If you're entertaining losses at all, I think that's where you're looking. If you could get to that break with 1 or none, you feel pretty good. So I don't know.
Well, that's the other way people got to start to realize, because I heard that. I don't think Tom said he wanted Illinois to take out USC. I don't like rooting for USC in anything. However, how you have to root for our opponents, we need them to win every single game except the one they played us, because strength of schedule. So if you ever in doubt how to root, that's what you do.
All right, here's my problem with that. I hear these playoff people and these analysts talk about strength of schedule. And then when the rankings come out, it seems like they just rank them based on how many losses you have. That is my problem with that, Tim. That's
a valid point.
I hear all this stuff and see all this data about strength of schedule. And then I feel like when the rankings come out, they just look at win-loss record. And then rarely do I see them go, we're not ranking a team that high in the playoff because we don't believe in their schedule or their conference. I rarely see that in practicality. Now, the conspiratorial angle would be they're going to judge Notre Dame on that harshly more than anybody else because they're independent or they want an axe to grind or whatever. But I hear a lot about strength of schedule, and then it just seems like minimizing losses takes precedent. So I don't know.
That's fair. Well, eventually in SEC, there's going to be a team get in with 3 losses.
Yeah,
And
eventually.
it'll probably come out. And it'll come in out of the SEC more than likely.
Yeah, it's so, but I do think 10-2 Notre Dame's pretty safe there. I do, but it's like it's the confluence of all these events first is what it is. It's the new quarterback getting questionable reaction now, and then the new defense, and then the schedule of Miami and A&M. It's all hitting at once. That's the problem with it. Yeah, Kent says Notre Dame starts out 0-2, and I'll be at the Purdue tailgate. Yeah, that's going to be a. Although we did the tailgate last year right after Northern Illinois. I think it was the next week, and half of it was a funeral, and then people were drinking their miseries out. So, like, whatever, man. Like, drink a Miller Lite for breakfast. You're stressed out about it. You're going to be stressed out anyways. You may as well party with me while you're doing it.
Well, the fine thing, not funny, but you'll get tickets cheap if that's the case.
Yeah, no kidding. There'll be a lot of parking passes right after I bought mine. There'll be a lot of them for free. Yeah. So, no, I don't know, man. Well, if that happened, more Purdue people would want to come because they'd convince themselves they have a chance because Notre Dame will never win a game again. That'll be the narrative.
John, do you know? I know they probably put USC as a premium. Did they make every game at home a premium game this year?
If Purdue's not the lowest level home game, what could be? Boise State's in a different Boise's in a lower conference, but that's a better team than Purdue, I think. So I don't know. And then Navy's so late in the year, I don't even look at doing a tailgate then, just because I don't want to deal with iffy weather. So that's why I do that's why I do the lowest level home game early in the season to get the good weather and the lower ticket pricing. Purdue, I'm pretty sure my top row tickets were like $225. $225, baby, to go see that drum.
Well, we used to have a huge rivalry. They caused a lot of pain for Notre Dame in the 60s. Ask Dr. John about that one.
Yeah. And then, so I don't know, Tim. So what do you make of my main man, Martinez? I got you coming up next. What do you make of the quarterback thing right now? Are you in panic mode? Do you still think there's time for a guy to rise and we still need to chill out?
I wish somebody had emerged. However, let's give Denbrock a little credit. Maybe he backs it down a little bit and does a specific game plan to get through Miami. I know eventually we're going to have to be able to throw the ball down the field. I get that. But, we won in 88 with running the ball a lot, and that's supposedly our strength. So as long as our offensive line comes together and we can run block, now we cannot not run the ball. Then we're dead.
Yeah.
But you do rollout passes, you do screens, stuff like that. And then maybe you take a shot down the field. We don't need the quarterback to win the game. We just can't have him lose it. And then you build from there.
Yeah.
You got to see it first. You can anticipate everything you want, but let's see how it develops.
Yeah, it's man.
That's how I'm going to leave. That's how I keep my sanity. How do you think you got to have some positivity? How do you think I get through every sport? I'd be dead.
Yeah, it's yeah. I get it, man. It's just I don't know where the footing is right now. And I don't want to overreact, but I don't want to underreact. I'm trying to give the appropriate level of attention and respect to these dynamics. And the hard thing is I just don't know right where that level is right now. And it's messing with me. I don't want to act like it's no big deal that there's not good reports coming about the quarterbacks. But I also realize there's a few weeks left and still time for the vibe to change it for a guy to gain confidence. So I'm stuck somewhere swimming around in the middle there in uncomfortable territory.
No, that's fair. I mean, I wish whoever, they would have had a clear-cut answer by now. Or maybe they're letting stuff get out just to have Miami say, oh, they suck at quarterback, and maybe give Miami a false sense of security. Who knows?
Yeah,
I'll be on facts. I'll analyze it once we've played.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You're not going to get, and that's where I have people saying to me, you might be pleasantly surprised. These guys might do better in the bright lights than they do in practice or whatever. I understand that, but that's a lot of cope and hope to go into Miami with. Is that everything we've seen is at a mid-level, and then we just hope for way better than that when it matters the most with the most pressure? That's a lot of cope and hope, Tim.
I know it is, but hey, you want to know who was a terrible practice player? Joe Montana.
Yeah, it's probably why he started out on the 5th string or whatever, right?
He eventually rose, though, John.
It's just
He eventually.
Man, I know, but how many of those are there in the world? You know what I mean? Like it's so I don't know.
I agree.
I don't know. It's so I'm not trying to panic, but I'm trying to have a healthy level of like discernment for.
But that's just your personality.
Some of this. Yeah, I'm not trying to overdo it. I'm trying to figure out the realities, and it's just tough, Tim. It's tough. And then, like you said,
I get it.
The best thing you could do is have a really good defense and an O-line that's able to move some things, and that'll help ease the quarterback in whatever they're going to end up doing. So, and I still have belief in that. My worry about the Ash defense falling apart, I'm starting to feel better about that defense, primarily because of some of the personnel. I still have some questions up front inside, but overall, I think that defense is gonna be able to help you.
The only angst I had a little bit on the defense, I think the personnel's there, but but the former, I can't think of his name, Al Golden, his defense didn't take off till year 2. So we can't have that lag.
Yeah.
That's the only problem. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but hopefully they don't. But I don't think it's going to change a lot. And Marcus Freeman could always step in too.
Yeah. It's yeah, it is. I don't know, man. This is the time for anxiety. And so I don't know, Tim, we're going to wait and see what every practice report you're hanging on to see that somebody came around and they're taking the lead in this race. So I don't know, man.
I have one last.
Yeah.
I hope you have a great weekend. I'm just curious, where's everybody getting all these practice report leaks? Where are they coming from?
I mean, I guess when the legacy media gets to see their little window, then they come out, write an article, or do a podcast about it. Like, that's where most people are getting. And then,
like Blue and Gold?
And then, yeah, like them. Yeah, like in Tim Priester and them with Irish Illustrated. Like, those guys are at practice. They come out and do a little report of what they see.
Yeah, I watch their stuff. I see their stuff. Okay.
And they only get a small glimpse. So you're not getting nobody's getting the full picture, even those guys. So it's just a lot of uncertainty, Tim. A lot of uncertainty. Hey, we're doing Saturday Night Live tomorrow. Crack a few cold ones and tune in.
Well, hopefully in 3 weeks we get a positive answer.
Yeah. That's what I'm looking for. Tim, it's good to hear from you on a Friday. Have a good weekend, buddy.
You too, man. Take
Have
care.
a good one, buddy. How much time you got, buddy? Dude, I need that sound clip. Whenever somebody calls in and it sounds like they're underwater, I can't understand you. You need a better cell reception. The appropriate level is wait and see. My wife's first game in ND was the NIU loss. Brutal. Yeah, I brought a college girlfriend to the opener. Was it 07 against Georgia Tech at our place? And it was about 98 degrees in the sun, and we lost like 38-0 to a bad Georgia Tech team. I brought a girlfriend there like, oh, I'm going to show her the Notre Dame stuff. This is going to be awesome. She'll see what it's all about. And it was a long, hot, miserable day. And I remember awful traffic getting back to the north side of Chicago after it. What a day. Have yourself a day, Johnny boy. The appropriate level is wait and see. Yeah, I think that's pretty responsible. I think that's responsible. Oh, man, I don't know. All right, let's hit up Tom Frawley. Go right back to the calls. If you're on hold, you're going to be on the air. Make me feel better about this. I'd like to introduce you to City Cheers, the super app changing the way you go out. City Cheers is giving every bar, restaurant, club, and golf course in America a free app. That's right, completely free. For venues, it's your own branded platform to promote events, specials, and live music straight to your guests' phones. For guests, you get perks, loyalty rewards, and Express Check, a game changer that lets you view, tip, and pay your tab right from your phone. No waiting, no lines, no wallet, no problem. Most places even give you money off your first visit using the app. Whether you're behind the bar or sitting at the bar, City Cheers makes the experience better. Patrons, download the app and see for yourself. For venue management, call friend of the show and loyal Notre Dame son, Tom Frawley, to get started. 773-332-7742. And be sure to tell him Always Irish sent you. Chicago's very own. That's my homeboy, Tom Frawley. Oh, boy. All right. Let's Mark with glasses. 419, you've been popping on and off. The other 419, Mark's coming up. Is it Joseph? You've been popping on and off. Try and call back again. We'll get you in. Choking myself up, man. The ghost of Brian Kelly's getting me with this quarterback stuff. Man, unbelievable. Mark with glasses. What's going on, buddy?
Oh, I thought you'd go the other 419. What's up?
What's going on, Mark? I am struggling to find my footing here. That's where I am struggling to find the appropriate level of chill out and let things still play out versus panic or being like afraid of the dynamic. What do you make of it, Mark?
Oh my God, that's where I'm at. It's been all consuming over here with this, and it's funny. I was talking to a guy at Kroger the other day, and similar to how Andrew Gilmore mentioned it, kind of being all on Gino and Denbrock, that it's got to this point. We've had a couple years, and it was funny. And then after the fact, my wife's like, "Oh, who was that? You know, how did you know that guy?" And I was like, "Never met him. He saw I had a Notre Dame hat and asked me about the quarterbacks, and we sat there and talked for 5-10 minutes, and it's like everything he's saying is like exactly where I'm at. We're just like worried about it, and the sky is falling, and all of that, and it was so funny." And then she said, "My wife says I'm like the old people in the progressive commercials like that, where you know, where you're turning your parents." And
yeah.
I don't know what I'm talking about, but the other day I asked this guy about the Beatles, because he had a Beatles shirt on, and he says, "Oh, I don't know, I just got it because the shirt was cheap." And then I'm like, "See, that's why I don't talk about." But
that's always how it goes, man. Like, yeah, that is how it goes. You'd be like, "Oh man, I wonder how much of the Beatles anthology and history this guy's." He's like, "I just like the color of the shirt. It was on sale at Target." You're like, "Okay. Yeah, that's why you don't talk to people." Yeah, Mark with strangers. Somebody put in the chat, Mark with strangers. Yeah, you should do your own YouTube show where you just walk around with a microphone in Target and Kroger and just talk to people.
Yeah, something. But and still, just having said all that, like, I'm still optimistic. I think this very well might be the most excited I've been for season, and at least in recent memory, and it's really only the quarterback that's given me like hesitation from being like more excited than optimistic, I guess, and mixed in with like being hopeful. But I think like with the quarterbacks, I know nobody wants to talk about the quarterbacks, but the Kenny being constantly categorized as being a running quarterback, I think if he was more of that, it would be more where Kenny was kind of the favorite. I don't think he's a running quarterback. I think he's got better escapability because he's a little bit quicker, but he's by no means a running quarterback. And I can't imagine, like Carr's arm is slightly better and Mincy's slightly, quote unquote, better running. And it just seems like neither one has big enough disparity to separate from each other. So like where I'm at is play both quarterbacks, piece it together, and figure it out as we go. And I think it's as simple as that. That's where I'm at with this whole thing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, man, it's really interesting. And the other thing is, I don't know whether the both quarterback thing helps or makes it a total cluster. Do you get what I'm saying? If it's really inseparable and there's not any separation and you want to do a thing where both guys could show it in the real games or whatever, and you piece it together, like that could be the right answer, or it could totally blow up on you, cause mass confusion, all the debate of who's the guy, series to series. Like, and no one knows who the leader is. And then do you have two? Do you have none? If you have two, like, do you even want to get into all that? Or do you double down on one and hope they figure it out?
Yeah, we've seen it before where they start one guy week one, figure it out. It's clearly not him. Famously Alabama with Buckner, and we've seen teams start 3 different quarterbacks in 3 consecutive games. We've seen tons of different kind of ways of handling this. I think the most clear and obvious way is just kind of ride the hot hand in the first game, see what you have as you go. And like, I'll ask you about this. Like with Card Minchie, do you think there's a win-loss difference between the two of them, or you think? Like, I'm kind of wondering. I think kind of similar expectations between the guys because this has been so close between them that I think they're probably sufficient enough with the talent and the defense that I kind of wonder. I guess what is the chat? What do you think about that?
The dynamic feels to me like they thought and wanted Carr to ascend rapidly, and it didn't quite happen. And then you end up in a spot where both guys are pretty even, but it isn't at the highest level. That's the interpretation I'm getting from what I'm hearing and reading and being told. And I don't know what to make of that. And I don't know exactly where the level they're at is. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm very frustrated, Mark. I do not want to overreact and over panic and do all that. But I also just don't have clarity, and the lack of clarity is driving everybody nuts.
Yeah, I think some of it is like we're all just getting overwhelmed with like the information and reports on Twitter and the message board, and like you don't know who to believe, what to make of it. It's much to do about nothing, and I think it's just pressing because I think everyone believes this team is loaded and set up, and what we just saw last year, and like the only uncertainty is the most important position, and it's very Notre Dame to have quarterback uncertainty, unfortunately. And this, the team has a high ceiling. I think both quarterbacks both have high ceilings, and it's just which one they decide on. But I think I'm excited about either guy, obviously, but I do like the idea of having the better passer because I think Kenny's a little mislabeled and getting too much benefit of the doubt as being a running quarterback.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, man, it is. I don't know, man. And some people are saying, even when I said I'm trying not to panic and overreact, people are saying that's what I'm doing. Like, I'm open to a guy ascending into this role in the next week and taking the lead and like whatever. And it's not like these guys are athletic bums where you don't have questions about like their athletic traits. So like, I'm not. It's not a total panic. It's just the uncomfortableness. You could feel it growing in the fan base the more this goes along. The uncertainty drives people crazy. And you already have an undercurrent of uncertainty because you just don't know how you're going to play against Miami to open the year anyways. Even if you knew who the quarterback was, there was going to be a certain heightened level of anxiety with Miami being number one. So I don't know, man. Clarity for what? It's been 9 days. Clarity of one of the guys playing good in practice, way better than the other. Why is this? I don't understand what I'm doing that's confusing or whatever. I'm saying nobody knows. and it's causing uncertainty.
Yeah, we're only like, is it 20 or 21 days away from the game, whatever it is. So yeah, it is.
Yeah, but why is it? But why is it that wild to me that I would hope one of these guys was clearly better than the other, and you would see it in the first week and a half? That's not the craziest idea ever. They're not the exact same person where one of them throws it incompletion, the other one throws it incompletion. Like they're not. I don't think it's that crazy to have thought one of those guys would have ascended. That's not a crazy thought that one guy takes the lead early in camp with their play. That's not that crazy to me. It just hasn't happened.
Yeah, and there'd be uncertainty and pause if the reports were great out of camp and one guy or both guys looked amazing, still not having any playing experience, games under the belt going into this. You'd still feel that way. So when you hear the total opposite of that, paired with the 0 starts, that goes with the territory. But anyways, having said all that, I'm still optimistic. But on the way out, I don't know if you saw this, Sam Hartman's getting the week 1 start for the Commanders preseason.
There we go. Show off that air, baby. As much camera time with that helmet off as possible, just for men, baby.
And my Browns, they play tonight, and we get to see Shedeur Sanders stake it up.
Hey, did you see Riley Leonard? Riley Leonard had a good little getting some run there on Twitter for his play in the preseason. I like to see it.
Yeah, he looked the part. He looked pretty good. And then I'm committing to the Purdue game in the tailgate, so I'll be there. Excited for that.
Yep, it'll be man. We're going to have fun no matter what for Purdue. We're going to have fun. Whether we need to drink because we're stressed out or happy, we're going to have fun no matter what. Mark, I love you, buddy. I'll see you probably on Saturday Night Live.
All right, later, bye.
Have a good one. Callers, we're coming to you. Oh, boy. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, and nobody is right or wrong. Okay, that's like the truth. I've always pushed back on this. Just chill out. Why get upset about something you have no control over? This is basic philosophy to me. This isn't just sports. This is in life. It's basic philosophy fundamentals. I'm not going to worry about things that are within my control. Those are the worst. The dumbest things to worry about are things you can control because you could change the outcome. You're not a helpless passenger victim. So I've never understood when people say, why stress about things beyond your control? Because I can't change them. That's exactly why. What do you mean, why worry about things you can't control? Because you can't change them and they can ruin your life. Those are the exact things you should worry about. I don't spend time worrying about things I could change. Those are the exact things I worry about, are things beyond my control that can ruin my miserable life. So that makes perfect sense to me. What do you mean? Why would you sit around worrying about things you could get off your couch and go fix? That makes no sense. I only worry about things I can't change. I've never understood it. Maybe they're both so good it's hard to get separation. That is not what the reporting says, though. That's a good angle, but it ain't what the reporting's saying. There have been no podcasts or articles that says Notre Dame is choosing between 2 Tom Brady's in his prime and pick your poison. No. That's not what the reporting's been. I love the idea in theory. That's just not what the reporting's been. And the Notre Dame guys the reporters want Notre Dame positivity. How would you see separation in 9 days when they were both 3rd and 4th string last year? Jay Carr, I'm not being sarcastic. One guy goes out there and is playing a lot better than the other one. Like, I don't know. Am I losing my mind? How could you have separation? One guy plays better than the other guy right away. What do you mean? How one guy goes out there and looks way ahead of the other guy naturally, not because it's 9 days and they were 4-string or whatever, because it's clicking and they're ready for the job and they're assuming to the role. That's how. I don't know. I'm kind of losing my mind with this, Andrew. Exactly, John. It's been way more than 9 days. Neither separated all the way through spring. Also, they do way more workouts now in the summer. I'm surprised nobody's taken over. Pick your lane, you guys. Everybody's right. Don't worry, John. Once you stress yourself into a quadruple bypass surgery, things won't be that big of a deal. Yeah, you're damn right. I'm sure that's coming. I just hope if I stroke out and that's the end of it, that it's live on air so I can at least get some views on the way out. How about we all ignore everything ND related for a week? We'll come back refreshed with low anxiety. Dong, I like that $5 holler, but you know it ain't going to happen. You know it ain't going to happen. And Kent, the last thing anybody needs for you today when Notre Dame's kind of going through something is you adding fuel to the fire, bro. That's the last thing anybody needs in this mindset is you cooking it up. Kent's over there laughing like somebody over a grill squirting the coal thing. He's squirting it. The flames are going up. The lighter fluid. Kent's over there just letting it blow up. Unbelievable. Andrew says, I think it's clear they don't want to pick Minchie, but Carr has not done enough yet in camp. How do we feel about Sam Hartman starting for the Commanders? I feel like I wish he would have done better at Notre Dame. That's how I feel. 419, what's going on? Back-to-back 419s. What's up?
Hey, John, how's it going?
It's going okay. I just think Notre Dame fans are in their minds about this, and we're all trying to figure out the realities of the situation.
Yeah, and sorry if our call drops. Just it's okay. I'm here with my girlfriend. We're driving from Florida, and we're in the middle of nowhere in Alabama somewhere, some national park, driving through on our way up to Ohio. So.
Oh man, roll damn Tide.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't hear too much Roll Damn Tide when we were down. We were down the Panhandle with our family, so didn't see too many Alabama people around, though, surprisingly.
Well, that's a good start to the trip, at least somewhere.
Yeah.
So, what do you make of this?
So.
What do you make of this, man? Are we overreacting? What's the appropriate level of concern versus openness that this is all going to end up just fine? What's the balance? Where are you at?
I feel pretty good about the quarterbacks. I think whoever wins will be more than ready to play at Miami and win. I'm not that worried whether it's Carr or Minchie. So I kind of have complete trust in the coaches, and I'm really not that worried about it. I'm okay with Carr. I'm okay with Minchie. I think Minchie is like, I was kind of watching the spring game. The dude is pretty fast. And he's like 6'2", 200 plus pounds, can do backflips. If he's starting, I'm okay with that too. But apparently Carr's like the accurate one. He legitimately has good accuracy, whereas I think we've had other quarterbacks that were highly recruited, but Buckner couldn't hit a barn. Wimbush wasn't that accurate. Phil Jerkovich, not that accurate. Whereas Carr is actually has a legit line bar. So I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, it's just the easiest path is that somebody jumped up and claimed the job, and maybe that still happens. You're just not there yet. And I would love to know what Denbrock thinks about all this. Do you change something in the way you're doing camp? I would love to know the truth of where Denbrock is in his mind with all this.
I don't know. I have no clue, but I trust him no matter what. What do you think Denbrock thinks?
Yeah, I think he's probably more calm about it than we are. You know what I mean? Because he's seen it all and done it all, and he's not the type to panic. So I think he's probably in a better place with it than I am. But it's just you're running out of time for this to naturally run its course and come to a conclusion. And that's what everybody was hoping for.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like either quarterbacks, to me, they're better versions of Ian Book. If he can just be accurate, but with a better arm and a little faster. Ian Book was pretty good, but he was just like a 3-star guy who just kind of did all the right things and was a little bit above average athlete. Whereas I think these guys are all that plus a little bit more. So I feel like, I don't know, I'm not that worried about it.
Man, yeah, it's I'm open to it all being okay against Miami. It's just you would feel a lot better about it if you got glowing reviews for one or both of these guys, but there's still time. There's still time. So it's not a total panic. And then what do you make of the other side of the ball? Do you feel good about this Ash defense? Are you concerned? Wait and see. What do you think?
Oh, no, the defense is going to be good. And, like, I feel like Al Golden was awesome, right? But he was also did things that I think drove people crazy, too. Like, he blitzed every down. Yeah. I don't think they ran as much man as you think people thought they ran. I think that was kind of overblown going into the Ohio State game. Like, Notre Dame.
Uh-oh. The Alabama got him. Sorry, buddy. Hey, how much time you got, buddy? The Alabama got him. I just hope he isn't locked up in some Alabama fan's closet right now. Hey, at least he warned me it was going to happen. At least it's Jay Carr. Print out the new bingo card, damn it. All the squares are hitting right now. I got to print. No. We got to print that out. That needs to come out for Saturday Night Live. Irish for life, $5 holler. On a good note today, I saved 20% on my insurance with Geico. Well, thank you. And then you could donate $5 to Johnny Boy. Maybe everybody should go do that. Yeah, man. Pick your narrative, you guys. Pick your narrative. I think all of this is fine. Wherever you're at on this, you could pick that narrative and run with it. Because nobody knows how it's going to go. You can worry a lot. You can not worry a lot. You could be somewhere in between. This is pick your narrative. I don't think anybody's right or wrong here with wherever you're at on this dynamic. I think you're entitled to go there. I think you're entitled to go there. I genuinely do mean that. Relax. Notre Dame 35, Miami 10. Ooh, I like that. When's the Golden announcement? 2:30 Central, 3:30 Eastern on 247. Everybody's going to get back in the chat there, and then we'll talk about what happens on Saturday Night Live. What a great combo platter. $2 holler from the Chief. If you're that worried, tell me the worst case in your view. The worst case is very, very simple. You start out 0-2 and the quarterback's a mess. Like, is that not crystal clear to everybody? The worst case scenario is that quarterback panics and isn't ready for the moment, makes a bunch of bad mistakes that are just you can't overcome with good defense, and you start out 0-2. That's the worst case scenario here. And maybe that defense isn't as tight as you wanted, or the run, or the O-line, or whatever. You combine it with the quarterback panicking, the game's moving too fast, he throws the ball to the other team a few times. That's how you start out 0-2. Yeah, Jay Carr, the disaster usually happens when multiple things go right. That's why I'm saying you have a couple bad things happen with that defense, miscommunications, give up things you usually don't, whatever. And then the quarterback struggles. Yeah, that's a recipe for 0-2. You don't have a lot of margin to be messing around with against Miami and A&M. It ain't Miami, Ohio, and Central Michigan. You don't have a lot of margin. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it can't be devastating. That's the worst case scenario. The best case scenario is we're all overblowing this and they get in the season and things click and it's fine. And then you go to the playoff again. Jeremiah Love won't allow 0-2 to happen. I need that O-line to block. It isn't just him in a vacuum. I need the O-line to be good enough. Are you all sold on that? Now is the time for questions. 574. What's going on?
Hey, Johnny.
Hey, what's up?
Nothing. I'm in regards to the quarterback situation. I'm at the point where I'm asking why not Minchie? Because, and hear me out here. Let's say Carr is just not ready to separate himself. Okay.
Okay.
Why not go with the quarterback who has better legs. He can run a little bit better. Maybe if they need to tweak the offense a little bit, to if their offensive line struggles and other things, maybe they need to tweak the offense. And so you go with Minchie, and then next year Carr can still compete for the job. I think Carr would stick around for another year, but Minchie, I'm not sure if he would. His window is smaller. He's been here a year longer. So I'm at the point where I'm thinking maybe Minchie is actually better for this program at this time.
It's man, the interesting thing with that is all I've heard about Minchie since day one on campus is he loves Notre Dame, and that playing time is not going to make him leave. And I haven't heard that about Carr, but I haven't heard if he doesn't get the job, he's in the portal the next day. I'm just saying, I'm not saying anything negative on the Carr end. I'm just saying on the Minchie front, everybody I know that knows the situation said he really loves Notre Dame and he wants to be here. So, I don't know if it's responsible or not to keep that in your mind when they're making this decision. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, and I've heard that too. And my only thing is his window's getting smaller. I think he wants to be an NFL quarterback one day. So maybe it depends on if he's going to get his degree and everything else first. And, maybe that's kind of where he's at with it. But I can't speak for these kids in that regard. But, yeah, it's a tough situation. And, yeah, I definitely see your concern. Hopefully the defense and running backs and everything else is able to kind of help push us along. But the situation we're in is we have no room for error in these first two games going up against, the two toughest teams we'll face all season.
Yeah, it is. It's just a tough combination of all these circumstances weaved into one, man. It's just tough. All these tough dynamics are weaving together. And it's going to be, this is going to be a big reveal against Miami, man. I don't think anybody quite knows what they're going to get. And it's on both sides, to be quite honest. I don't think both sides know exactly what they're going to get. I've heard Miami struggling with their new passing operation. You got the new quarterback coming off the arm, but they had to replace their top 6 receivers, and it seems like they wish some of the guys they brought in would have emerged, and they haven't. And so they have some issues too. They got a new DC. It isn't all just about us.
Right. So maybe that'll give us a little bit more leeway. I think A&M is going to be a little bit more of a kind of well-oiled operation coming into this season. So maybe we're worrying about the wrong team. Maybe A&M is really the team that we should be more concerned about. Beck, his record with going up against actually good defenses like Texas, he had 3 interceptions against Texas last season. So I think going up against our DBs, it's going to give them a really rough time. I'm hoping. Yeah.
The best thing that could happen for whatever they do at quarterback, keep that score down with the Notre Dame defense. Miles, thanks for the $2 hour. And he says, could they utilize a dual threat QB like 2012? Caller, what do you make of that? Would that make you nervous doing the 2 quarterback thing? You don't know who the leader is. If you have 2 guys, do you have no guys? Or do you like that as a way to keep Miami off balance and give both guys a chance to emerge into the role and mix up your looks? Do you like that approach? Do you think that's far-fetched, or could you see it happening with Denbrock? I don't know what to make of that either. If that's a crazy idea that would cause more confusion, or if that's a way to separate it out and let them both play against Miami and see who assumes a role. I don't know.
I don't like it for the whole season. I think it can work in certain situations, and this might be the perfect situation where that could work. And that would be for the first couple of games, let each quarterback go out, do their thing, and actually use the first couple of games as a kind of litmus test to see which quarterback is the quarterback that we're going to kind of go into the rest of the season with. But then the kind of counter to that is the first 2 games of the season are the toughest games of the season, and that could be like the biggest threat to us actually losing a couple of games. So yeah, that's a tough question. in the right situation, it can work, but usually I'm against it.
Yeah, like you would have to be real. And I do trust Denbrock. Like it would have to be very structured so it's not just chaos out there. So I don't know, man. Listen, I'm very open to us coming in here after Miami and being like, man, we all over worried and Notre Dame's a lot better than we thought and they took care of business. Like I am totally open to that. That we're like, oh man, we all way over worried. This program is a lot more stable than we realize, even with the quarterback. Like, I'm open to that, but I'm entitled to worry until I see that that's the reality. Like, it's choose your adventure from now until Miami game is over. Nobody knows.
Yeah, your concerns are totally valid. I get where you're coming from, but yeah, I just wanted to call in and say, you know, maybe why not Mitchie? Is he what's best for this program at this point?
Yep, it's a fair point.
We'll see.
And I see the 574. You got to be somewhat local. Come to the Purdue tailgate. Come have a beer with your boy.
This is Justin and D Sniper again. We talked the other day.
Yeah, well then snipe yourself over to the tailgate, baby. Let's do it.
I will.
Appreciate it, man. Hey, have a good weekend and keep us up to date on the word around the South Bend streets, would you?
All right, I will.
Thanks a lot, buddy. How much time you got? Here's the thing, man. I'm open to all of this. I am not all one camp or the other. I am not in total panic mode. But I'm also not saying this feels ahead of schedule in my mind and is ahead of where I wanted it to be. I don't feel that at all either. I am somewhere right in the middle, and I'm trying to be responsible about that. Smoke one with the old boy, Rick James. What am I on the hook for, Commander? What am I on the hook for? What am I on the hook for? I don't understand. I just want a good quarterback. What am I on the hook for? I'm not the one recruiting and developing them. What am I on the hook for? What did I do? Like, I'm the one in that. I'm the room. Buckner, what do you want me to say? The guy's leg got snapped in half after a game and a half. What do you want me to say about that? What do you want me to say about that? It was unfortunate the guy suffered that horrible injury. How is that my fault? You act like I snapped his leg in half. You don't know how that would have gone if you give the guy a full year. What am I getting blamed for his injury for? Do I look like I work at Under Armour or something? Or am I the field turf guy or the trainer? What am I getting blamed for all this for? I don't know. Blame me for everything. Blame John for everything. Go ahead. 304, welcome to the show. Good morning.
What's going on, John? How you doing?
What's going on? Hey, man, first-time caller. I have no call log here.
Yep, first-time caller. Just started tuning in a couple months ago. First time I've had a chance to call out here from West Virginia.
Hey, man, I see that, West Virginia. Do we got a little Notre Dame contingent out there or what? What's it like out that way for Notre Dame land?
I'm hated out here. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I got family that lives in South Bend, so my mom grew up there. So it kind of got passed down to me.
Well, it's a beautiful thing, man. We need representation all over. Or yeah, Buckner was
sure.
Wait, Buckner. I got that backwards. The leg one was him fighting the stairs, and then how could I mess that up? The Buckner injury was him in the stairs with his leg, and then wasn't it a collarbone or something that cracked in the second game? How's that my fault? Anyways, I'm sorry, 304. What do you make of all this, man? You're a first-time caller. You're following all this. Where are you at with the quarterback dynamic as we sit, man? Are you just relaxing and trusting things will work out, or is the pressure ratcheting up on you?
I mean, I think if any Notre Dame fan tells you they're relaxing right now, they're lying to you. But I'm not too concerned with it. Here's my reasons. You go back, see, okay, obviously, you know, CJ Carr and Kenny Minchey haven't played any meaningful snaps in college football. But what I'm hanging on to is the fact that their blue and gold game, you saw what CJ Carr can do. and he was playing against the same defense that he's playing against now. Maybe they added a couple of freshmen, but overall playing against the same defense. The first day of training camp was the first time they've thrown live bullets, with a helmet on in a couple of months. So I've seen those balls that CJ Carr throws. I've seen Kenny get out of the pocket, hit receivers. So I think it's the first day. What I don't want to happen, though, is when we get the first game of the year, if someone makes a mistake, you yank them and try another guy. I do not want to see that happen. Because what kind of message are you sending the quarterbacks if they make one or two mistakes, which is bound to happen?
Yep.
And you yank them.
See,
then that next guy that comes in is like the next guy that comes in is like, oh shoot, I better play well because if I make a mistake, I'm coming out. Now you got two quarterbacks that are playing tense or playing nervous. And that's not a recipe for success.
Like I'm with you on that, man. There's so much psychology in how you approach all this. And the question that keeps coming up is, what is the leash? What is the leeway on whoever they pick against Miami? Like because you said, you can't do all this. Pick a guy. He has 2 bad series and you bail on him, right? Because that makes everyone look foolish. It makes it look like you picked the wrong one. It makes that guy feel like he already blew his chance. And then the guy you're bringing in behind him's thinking, now I got a short hook too. And then everybody plays tight. Like it's all that's tricky. It's tricky.
I think whoever the quarterback is you've got to cut him loose. You got to let him not play scared. It's mistakes are going to happen. Every quarterback's going to throw an interception. I like what they did with Rivalry last year. He didn't have spring. Was late in fall camp, but he made a couple mistakes, but they kept with him, and you saw what good that brought. And then I'm also hanging on to what Kirk Herbstreit said. He said CJ Carr is a program changer. So I don't really care who wins. I have faith in Freeman. After what I saw last year, I don't know how you could doubt him. He's got Denbrock, who's been around the block for years. They know what they're doing. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, I like that mentality. And I don't know, man. This was always going to be a tough, stressful buildup because of who the first game's against. You add in this moving factor here, and I understand the anxiety. I do. It's just I want to see these guys succeed. I want to see them get some momentum and go in there feeling good about themselves. And there is still time. We have almost 3 full weeks before the game. There's plenty of time for this to work out. It's just the lack of information is driving people nuts, and everybody hanging on every next practice report and whatever. I don't know. There's still plenty of time. I don't know though. It's giving me a little anxiety. I'm not going to lie.
When do you think that we'll have a decision by?
Don't you think? What was that date? People were saying the 15th or the 17th. The next time we go a little more than a week, and then there's another press conference. I am certain that those guys would want to have a starter name by the time that Freeman faces the media in that big thing again. And I think, and then that's the line where you go from camp to Miami specific practicing. And I think by then you want to know who your one is because you got to give them 90% of the reps or whatever. So I would like to think by another week or whatever, when you get into Miami specific prep, they're going to want to know what they're doing. I would think.
For sure. I agree with that. I'm hoping something gets leaked here in the next couple of days though. I'm getting too anxious.
Yeah, I know, man. And it's just, I don't know what the right level of concern versus chill out and let it work out needs to be. I am being totally open about that I am incredibly conflicted. Some days I wake up thinking, oh, it's all going to work out. I believe in all this overall. And other days I'm like, dude, what are you about to walk into the first 2 games if you don't have this right? I vacillate between the two and in the middle of that all the time. It's all in my head.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that, as a fan base, I was a former, Division I basketball player. I think that we need to rally around these guys, if I'm being completely honest with you, because these kids, no matter how much they say they're staying on social media, they hear the noise. I'm sure they hear the different camps, the Minchie camps, the CJ Carr camps. I think whoever it is, we need to rally around these guys and, give them the confidence, because they do hear the chatter from the fan base. So I think we'll be all right. There's a reason why they're playing quarterback at Notre Dame. They're not there by mistake. I've got confidence in Freeman, Denbrock and Gaduli to make the right decision.
Yep, I think that's a very mature perspective, and there's not a damn thing we could do to change it. So we're going to sit here and ride out the next few weeks and hopefully be in a more stable feeling place when the plane boards to Miami. Anything else, my friend? Really good first call. Dial me up again from West Virginia. Represent.
For sure. I think, like you said, the past couple of shows, we're in the best place that we've been, at least in my lifetime, 23 years. So I'm excited. Only good things ahead.
I appreciate that, man. Really good first call. Clear phone lines. Rep in West Virginia. Save the number. Call me again.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, John.
Have a good one. Take me home. Always Irish on the phone. West Virginia likes Notre Dame. If you got that Indy in your heart, let it out. We always got the Chappelle show to make us feel good no matter what. We always do, man. If you got that Indy in your heart, let it out. I just want, dude, I can't win with some of this chat. I've been saying for an hour and a half now, I'm right in the middle. Like, if you're telling me to totally chill out, I'm going to tell you there's not evidence that suggests that's smart to totally chill out. And if you tell me we're screwed, we're going, somebody put 7-5 in here, whatever, we're screwed. The first two games we're going to lose automatically. This is all a mess. That's not appropriate either. For an hour and a half, I've been saying I'm right in the middle, and I go back and forth depending on what's in my mind at the time. I'm right in the middle of the road. You know what happens when you're in the middle of the road? You get ran over by a truck. But that's where I'm at. Relax, guy. Take a rest. What? Do you know who you're dealing with here, bro? Do you know what channel this is? Always anxiety, baby. My main man, Martinez. What's up, buddy?
John, I'm going to meet. I got to call you right back.
All right. Call me right back, bro. Call me back. Dude. I love that guy. Even in the middle of that work meeting, that guy's calling me, and I hear his boss like, we got to pour this concrete on this thing and do that. And he's over there listening to me in the meeting. Dude, you sound like a Slim Shady. Who are you talking about? You talking about me or somebody else? I don't know, man. Miami has a lot of questions on defense and wide receivers. Absolutely 100%. Mark 1, I'm glad you brought that up. It is important to remember we're not the only ones with big questions. They're not happy with what they're getting out of the guys they had to replace their 6 top wide receivers. They have questions on defense. We're not the only ones that are not going to know. Irish for life. I'd like to hook John up to a heart rate monitor to display on the screen. I have looked into that. There's an app for it. I don't know how it works. There is an app for that it'll show a meter, and I think that would be particularly relevant for this show. I don't know how to set this up, bro. How do I get the thing attached to me, measuring it into the computer? I don't know, dude. I don't understand how that all works. Do you got to send me Musk's Neuralink into my brain or something? I don't understand. I don't understand it. Go. All right. One more promo. Andrew Gilmore's coming up. So we'll give Andrew some room to talk it out here. Brace yourself. If you're like me, you've seen inflation eat away at your precious savings and watch the markets go unpredictably wild. This made me look into other ways to gain stable wealth over time. With that in mind, through the Always Irish community, I've been introduced to 7K Metals. 7K is helping everyday people like you and I gain access to real gold and silver, not stocks or paper promises, tangible assets. I've been able to consistently build a portfolio of gold and silver month after month without having to be an expert at all. You can simply sign up and start adding gold and silver to your portfolio every month, which is exactly what I do. I set it up, let it run, and have a little fun. It's about creating stable wealth through gold and silver. I believe in 7K so much, I decided to join as a full member. You get education, wholesale pricing that cannot be beat, easy purchasing and cash outs with the Sound Money wallet. So if you're ready to take control of your financial future, visit my personal website, alwaysirishgold.com, via the link in the description or the QR code on the screen. You trust me, I trust 7K. Why not join today? This is not a membership, it's a movement. Silver and gold, silver and gold. What about 24 karat magic in your mailbox? And they send you some gold, baby. How about that? I want to know where to go that. I want to know where to go that. Do you remember the leprechaun in Alabama? Do you remember that? And then they started doing remixes to everything they said. And one of them was, I want to know where to go that. I want to know where to go that. Oh, man. Andrew Gilmore, talk us through this, buddy. How much time you got?
Hey, what's up, John? Can you hear me okay? I'm calling you from a hotel room on the road right now.
Yep, I got you. You sound pretty good. Andrew, give us a thought of where you're at on this. I know you follow it very, very closely. Tell me where you think that we should be in this journey.
Well, I think the QB situation is a lot more clear now than it's been in a while. I don't know if did you catch Tim O'Malley?
It's clear, but it's clear in a way you don't want it to be clear. Is that what you mean?
Well, in a sense, yeah. But I mean, I would say I don't know if you caught what Tim O'Malley said on their podcast, and then Pete Sampson followed it up on his podcast. I think it's pretty clear. I think from what they said, I think the coaches fully expected CJ Carr to come out and just be better than Minchie, and he hasn't. He's played subpar football in camp so far from what they're hearing. So Kenny Minchie is still running with the ones because he's, I guess, giving average football. So I think that's what we have here. I think we have a coaching staff who wants CJ Carr to win the job, but
he's got to go do it.
A glass half full would say, this is not a coaching staff who's just going to hand it to him either. Yeah. So I think that's good news. That shows restraint on their part because, if this was the NFL or something like that and you had a first-round draft pick quarterback, he's going to start regardless. You know what I mean? So they're going to play who's better. I think the glass half empty is that nobody is saying that Minchie is just tearing it up or anything. So it's more that Carr isn't playing well. And so that's concerning to me.
What do you think our timeline is like, Andrew? Do you really think you have about another week to get? Is it the 15th or the 17th of August, kind of that turning point there where things shift to Miami? Is that what you're looking at? Or if this thing doesn't separate, do you run into Miami prep doing it similarly to how they're running it now? I don't know.
Well, I didn't catch Freeman saying this, but according to Tim O'Malley, Freeman has said a few times he's not going to have, some BS like, hey, we're going to play two quarterbacks or I'll announce the quarterback the day of the game or anything like that. He said he's going to be clear who the starter is.
Yeah, so, and you know what else? Now that you bring that up, Denbrock said something about we're working. I heard a quote from Denbrock the other day where he was saying something and then once we name the starter, we'll do this and that. So Denbrock put out there too, kind of the desire here to have a clear number one and not let that whole mystery thing run into the season and do all that. It really does seem like they want a guy to emerge. They just need a guy to emerge.
Yeah, I think this next week and a half, and then I think I can't recall is the Jersey scrimmage on August 17th. It's some big practice is going on, and so I think they're gonna. And Bob in the chat made a good point. Maybe they don't name it at that presser, but the day after, once all the coaches get together, they're going to name that quarterback.
Okay, Andrew, let me ask you this: do you think that once a guy's named, everything will calm down. Do you get what I'm asking? Like, will it be like, okay, we named a guy, now we know who we're anchoring around, and then maybe everybody chills out? Or do you think it's going to be the same amount of discussion and anxiety of like, okay, you named a guy, but was it for good reasons? And are you sure it's going to be good enough? A part of me thinks that if they name one, some of this will chill out because you'll at least know what they're doing. The lack of direction seems to be driving people crazy. I don't know.
I think if they name Carr the starter, everything will calm down, and it's simply because every time the media or the fans have seen Carr, he's played really well. You know what I mean? So, and also he's clearly the if you put it into baseball terms, he's the top prospect. I think if they name Minchie the starter, there's going to be real concern.
Yeah.
Especially with like no practice reports saying that Minchie, like every practice report I read is that Minchie is overthrowing all of his deep passes. So it's like, and that guy wins the job. That says more about Carr than it does about Minchie. So
can I ask this part of it?
Yeah.
Andrew, let me ask this part of it. And again, I am genuinely asking, these are not rhetorical questions. It's the shit that's in my brain. Do you feel like if they started Kenny, he would be judged more harshly and have a shorter leash in the eyes of the media and the fans because Carr had more fanfare and seemed like the guy with more heat and the recruiting and all these national analysts, when they're like up and rising quarterbacks, they have Carr in the top 5 and we don't even know if he's going to be the starter. Like, a part of me feels like people would be more critical. Like, they start Kenny and he makes a couple of mistakes and then Twitter's going to be like, yeah, everybody knew Carr was the man. They screwed this up. Like, do you get what I'm asking about that dynamic?
I think you're absolutely right. I mean, just look at how Drew Pine was treated when he was the starting quarterback. I mean, he was everyone's living boy. Even Marcus Freeman yell at him all the time. So
that poor kid, that poor guy, man. It wasn't even his fault. Like, you're Drew Pine, man. You're doing the best you can do. That poor kid.
Yeah, no, I think absolutely they would treat him differently and poorly probably if he didn't play well. But yeah, I mean, I think that's where we're at with quarterback. But I think it's not. I do want to say that this team is still really, really good, and we still beat Texas A&M 23-13. Riley Leonard, first game of the year, did not come out and have one of his vintage performances. You go back and look at the playoffs. I don't think did Notre Dame score 30 points the entire playoffs? I don't think they did, and they still made it to the championship. So you can win games 20-3, 27-21. So it's like, I think that the two most important people, based off of what I'm hearing about the quarterback situation, the two most important people for the first half of the year until we get to USC are going to be Jeremiah Love and Chris Ash. Jeremiah Love has got to have an awesome year. He's got to have 1,500 yards on the ground. He's got to have 400 yards receiving. He's just got to do it, or else, we're in trouble. And then Chris Ash, sorry, buddy, you came into a really, really big time situation. We cannot have any sort of drop off on our defense.
Yeah, you just can't afford it. I'm with you with the insecurity on the offensive side. You cannot afford that. I'm with you.
And I think the one thing, again, it's like I love the people in the chat like, why do you guys always talk about negative stuff? It's not talking about negative stuff. It's talking about the stuff we don't know about. You know what I mean? And so the one thing that I thought was sort of interesting, out of nowhere, you hear people starting to question defensive tackle. And I thought that was sort of interesting because after spring, everybody was saying, oh, we saw the defensive tackles. They look great. Problem solved. You know what I mean? And then I just thought it was interesting how on multiple podcasts, all of a sudden they're naming that as a weak area. So I don't know what they're hearing on that, because that could really hurt us. If we're not stout up front, if teams can run the football on us, because both Miami and Texas A&M have a good running game, good running backs, good offensive line. So that's really key. Like, Ash needs to make sure that we're stout up front. And otherwise, the rest of the defense is awesome. So
yeah, man. It's just I am Andrew, literally day to day, man, I just vacillate between positive thinking, what could go wrong, what happens if it's somewhere right in the middle, and that's where I'm looking at the defense carrying the day and the run game and the O-line helping out. Like, anything is possible, and that is just going to mess with all of our heads for 3 more weeks. Like, I don't see any other way around it, man. It's Miami, and you have these questions, and it's just going to mess with us. I don't know when we're going to get clarity here. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think what would make me feel better is, from all accounts, Carr's got the better upside. If it's really close, put Carr in. You know, he's got the upside. He can grow as the season grows. If it's Minchie, and unless we hear that Minchie all of a sudden is just killing it in practice, if it's Minchie, then I think it says a lot about Carr, that he is truly green, truly not ready, and we need to buckle up because this could be a wild season. So, but I think if it's Carr, it shows you, hey, this guy, you know, he's going to have to develop over the course of the season. But I think you have the potential with Carr that by USC, because I think USC is that line of demarcation. Like, that means you played your 2 big games up front. You've gotten through Arkansas. If you can get to USC, if you can, and Boise, if you can get to the USC game with 1 or fewer losses, that means that the USC game is like a playoff game. And you would hope, whether it's Carr or Minchie, you played enough football by then that you can really open up the offense. Yeah. And because I think you're going to have to score a lot of points to beat USC. It's been that way the last few years. So.
Yeah, and you can't rely on half of them coming on defense either every year. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be able to build in pick sixes. So I get it, Andrew. But when people are like, "What's the best case, worst case scenario?" Yeah, 0-2, and the quarterback's a disaster, and the defense and O-line are not as good as you need them to be. Starting out 0-2, that's the worst case. The best case scenario is you go, "Oh, man, we were worrying for nothing. Notre Dame's a lot more stable than we thought. They took care of Miami. Let's get ready for A&M." Like, it's that big of a range to me.
Well, last time I checked, you still have Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price on your team. As long as those guys are healthy and they're ready to go for the first 2 games, we've already seen Notre Dame can win games, 23-13. You're allowed to win games 28-21. So we don't need this.
What is your present belief in the offensive line? Do you feel pretty good about that? They're going to be able to move some people and be able to protect and give Love and the quarterback and Price a chance to operate. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like, and obviously we got to watch the games, but I feel like Joe Rudolph deserves a ton of credit. Like, all you ever hear, especially from one of the Notre Dame podcasts out there, it's just a huge amount of criticism. And in particular, one player, Anthony Knapp, Anthony Knapp's getting named to the freaking Bruce Feldman freak list. He's close grip benching, repping 315 pounds. He's a stud.
Join the club.
Everybody just wants to move. Everybody wants to just move him to like guard. It's like, no, maybe Joe Rudolph knows what he's doing. Maybe he's assembled a really good offensive line. And by all accounts, Sullivan Absher, it probably isn't as good as Jagasaw, but the dude's ready to play. I think offensive line is going to be a huge strength. And he's developed depth. You have Gertie Lambert as the 3rd tackle. So if any of the tackles were to go down, he's going to play left or right tackle. And then you might even see Will Black get some playing time at guard. He's right now the 2nd team guard. So Joe Rudolph knows what he's doing.
Yeah, man, it is. And Goolsby talks about that on Patreon. He's like, sometimes the route Rudolph goes to get to good O-line performance frustrates me, but the end result ends up being pretty good. Like, I think that's a pretty good way to look at it. Of like, sometimes I don't understand the equation, but we kind of come to the right answer, and you got to give him credit on that. Like, so I don't know.
Well, it's so ridiculous. The criticism of Rudolph is silly. It's like guy was a Joe Moore semifinalist last year with basically a ragtag offensive line. He almost gets hired in the NFL by the Chicago Bears. So it's like the only people who don't think Joe Rudolph is good is that other podcaster and people in this chat. Everybody else, his peers, think Joe Rudolph knows what he's doing. So that guy knows what he's doing.
So, Andrew, what comes next? What would make you feel better? What do you want to hear? We're almost through the second week. Is it just you want to start hearing these reporters say, you know what, the quarterbacks are coming around, or at least one of them? Like, what would make you feel good? What do we need to happen here?
Yeah, it's one thing. Carr's named the starter. If it's Minchie, then I'm going to worry that we don't have enough offense to get to. Because I don't agree with you necessarily. I don't know if 10-2 gets you into the playoffs. Maybe it gets you on the road.
Yeah,
I think the goal is 11-1.
Yeah, I think 10-2 gets you a road. Ted gets you at the bottom in a tough road game. That's my feel, but I don't know. That could obviously change depending on what happens.
Yeah, just with all the bitching the SEC has done, I'm just I wouldn't feel good with Notre Dame being 10-2, and then you've got an LSU's 9-3 and played the schedule that they played. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think you got to go 11-1. And I'm just not a believer in Kenny Minchie. I don't think he can give us the type of offense that gets us to 11-1. I could be dead wrong, and I'd be happy to be wrong about it. So it's I'm not picking camps, because I agree with someone in the chat that there has been this weird, I'm in one camp and you're sort of rooting against the guys. I'm not. I'd be happy if Kenny Minchie was pairing it up. I'd say start Kenny Minchie, but the bottom line is Kenny Minchie at one point was almost told he would never be the starting quarterback. That's what I heard. And then you hear these practice reports, he's pretty average. I think we've seen from Carr, at least prior to this camp, is that there's a ton of upside. So if he wins the job, I'd feel a lot better.
Yeah, man, this is going to be interesting. And everybody's hanging every day to get the latest report. Anything else, Andrew? We'll be live Saturday night.
I would just add that I would just add, for all the talk about Luke Talich and Tay Johnson and stuff like that, one piece of information that came out is I forget his name, but the Vodtech transfer, is it Stroman? The safety, he's come out and he looks really, really good. So I think that if that's the case, if he's already the starter, that means, he's a really good player. And I think that really kind of screws up what we were feeling on the backside. So really, it's all about, I think it comes down to two things: quarterback, defensive tackle. That's going to determine the season. So
yeah, man, we're going to see how it goes. There's always something to talk about in Notre Dame land. Andrew, I'll see you on the community board on Patreon, I'm sure. See ya.
Hey, thanks, Sean. See ya.
Have a good one, buddy. How much time you got? The main man, Martinez. Are you out of the meeting or what?
I'm the king. Yeah, I did. I told him I'm the king of Glendale, man. I'm not from there, bro. I'm a whole different type of monster. That's what I told him, Johnny. Johnny, that's what I told him.
Dude, I can't.
That's what I told him.
I think that's so funny that you were on that meeting, in the meeting, right when I took your call.
Dude, it was awesome. It was awesome. It was actually with the owner, with the main owner, and I was telling him, hey, though. Yeah, but I had some, hey, the shortest point is the straight line is the shortest point between two. You know that old saying. I said, so be straightforward.
Yeah.
You told me 6 months. That was going to get a bonus. Go ahead.
There you go. So, main man, what do you make of this? Should we all relax with the quarterback thing, or is it time to stress out? What's the answer here, buddy?
Oh, okay, brother. I want to ask you one question. I'm going to use a little bit of you and Andrew's terminology. What's Frank Leahy saying that we put on the shirt, right? What's it saying? What's your man Frank Leahy saying? God, family, Notre Dame, right? Right? You got to have faith, man. You got to have faith. You're putting too much stress on the quarterback team, man. I think I've seen that Kenny interview, and it is a real good interview. That kid is calm and collected. And CJ Carr is a ball of talent. CJ Carr comes from that pedigree. He is a ball of talent. I mean, in a dream world, Johnny, it would be better that it would be a great story, right? An Ohio State Buckeye takes the grandson of the Michigan Wolverines and leads Notre Dame to the national title, right? It's a Disney story, right?
I've never really thought of it that way. That's a really good way to think about it. You take our arch enemies and use them to win.
Yeah. You take a Buckeye who took the grandson of a Wolverine and took the Fighting Irish back to glory. I mean, what better story is that, right? What better story is that? I mean, there's nothing to think about it, but one thing is that I think you, Johnny, I guess I want to just say, man, you put a lot of work in, and I love you, man, and I do, and Andrew is a great analyst with the numbers. Tom Frawley is an old school coach, man, that's gonna watch the film 100 times over, man, and he knows. Me, I'm more up in optimism. Like I said, I'm a ball of fury. I'm shorter dude. I had to fight my whole life to think, but I'm optimistic, man. I'm telling you, like, if CJ, who is a typical 6-something, you know, lay in the pocket and sling it QB, is not gonna do it, they're gonna do with Kenny Minchie what they try to do with Tyler Buckner. But in this case, like, you do got Jeremiah Love, you do got an amazing backfield, and true, you could only run it so much against a loaded 9. You could only run the ball so much against a loaded 9. That's true, but that's when you do a little bit of bootleg. You dump off a little quick slant, a little 5 and out, a little shovel pass like Utah used to do, or whatever. Like that's when that comes in, and that will boost the confidence. The caller from 2 calls ago, Justin Sniper, he says you don't like the 2-quarterback system. I don't either. But remember, that's what Team Tebow started off with when Urban Meyer and them started their roll back to glory for Florida. He'd come in when needed. You know that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting, man. It really is. We're just going to have to see how it works out. I'm not freaking out, but I'm just kind of mildly concerned right now.
Johnny, man, I'm going to tell you something, man. I had the gift I have made for you, Goolsby, Cotter, and Frawley, got dropped off to me the other day. My little baby niece, Layla, she said, Renee, it's always Irish. Your son's always Irish this year. My little baby niece was a fan here. She was so excited. She thought it was you because of what I got made for you guys. And she thought it was you. She was so pumped. The reason I tell you that, man, is like, you have to calm down, dude. Like, let's stress out come game time, but right now let's enjoy it, man. I'm so looking forward to kickoff. I'm so looking forward to the tailgate, man. I am, like, dude, I wish you could have seen that. Heard this little 8-year-old girl getting so pumped up for you, man.
Dude,
it was the greatest.
That means a lot. I appreciate that. It means a lot to me, man. I do. You guys are great. I can't wait to see everybody, whether we're happy, sad, mad, or glad. We're going to have fun no matter what.
Yeah, man. And going into Miami, hey, I'm going to give you a little convict advice here from your Catholic rooting convict. Have I not commanded you to be strong and of good courage? Be not afraid nor be dismayed, for the Lord your God, country, Notre Dame is with you wherever you go. Love you, Johnny. Love the chat. Looking forward to tonight. Onward, Notre Dame, baby.
Have a good one. Have a good one. How much time you got, buddy? A couple more people on the line, but they're listeners. They're audio-only listeners, I think. So I think that's going to be it. Rick, $20. And I'm sorry, by the way, the people that listen audio-only on the call-in waiting line to have it on their phone and not use their data on YouTube, that's fine. But put in the chat or something, or like, I don't want to hang up on you because I'm used to you just listening. If you want to be a part and have the call answered, find a way to let me know that. Because sometimes I'll bring people on and they're like, I didn't even want to talk. I just wanted to hear on hold. And then other times I'm like, they just want to be on hold and they wanted to talk. $20 hour. Slick Rick. Last year, Notre Dame and A&M, the winner makes the playoff. The losers don't. I suspect it will be just as important. Thoughts? Go Irish, except when they play the Aggies. Yeah. And the whole thing is like, well, if you beat Miami, I like the odds you go 2-0 a lot more than if you lose to Miami. I'm extremely worried about going 0-2. You could go 1-1. You could go 1-1, but it's just fan nature. If you start out 1-0, you're going to say you could go 2-0. If you start out 0-1, you're going to be scared as hell. You're going to go 0-2. Could you imagine this program and the position it's in starting 0-2? Can you imagine our lives? It just can't be. It just can't be. Whoever has to pick up the slack or do whatever, it can't be. So you just have to figure it out. Italian beast with soggy bread at the tailgate. Absolutely not, bro. It's like mush. I will never, ever understand the appeal people have for mushy bread that's falling apart and all oily, and it's no longer bread, it's mush. I will never understand it. I go to Portillo's, I say, dog, I want to see you shake the juice off that beef and put it in that bun. Hard bread. Hard bread. Mush. All that mush. You open it, it looks like a baby's diaper when you fold out all the paper in there. Oh, horrible. Horrible. All right, you guys, that's going to be it. That's going to be it. This is, I love you. We're going through this together. Mark. You guys are terrible. Oh my God. Thank God you guys are here to always make us have a good time and laugh. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to have stuff on Patreon, as you know, as always, promo code ND25. And then we'll do a Saturday Night Live tomorrow, and we'll see how everybody feels. We'll see how we feel when everybody has a couple beers, maybe whatever. We'll see if we get a different vibe. So I love you guys. Thanks for being here. We're going through it together. Good, bad, in the middle, all your thoughts. We're all here together. And we'll get after it on Saturday Night Live. I love you guys. You're inappropriate, but I love you.